Absolutely. And Wade, I mean, you want to talk about a competitive game last night. I thought that, more than anything, we wanted to see a really, really good competitive performance between both teams. I think we got that. Really strong hitting. Honestly, I know that it's hard to say in a game in which there were 14 total runs in 6 innings that there was really good pitching, but I think there was really good pitching. The one area in which I think both teams probably want to see a little improvement today is defensively. I don't have the stats in front of me. I know that you probably do be a game changer here in a moment, but I would venture roughly half of the runs from last night were probably unearned. And so that's not really on the pitchers. That's just a case where you're playing your defense, and at times the defense really kind of let them down. But that happened for both teams, admittedly. And so, yeah, you can't ask for much more. An 8-6 final. It was tied going into the final inning. And just a lot of fun. Hopefully we see more really competitive games tonight and potentially, Wade, see our first home run of the series.
Yeah, we will be on the lookout for the long ball, as last night it ended up being a really competitive game. National League springs for 3 runs in the bottom of the first. They take a 3-1 lead. And then the American League scored back in front, and they led it 6-3. But the lead did not last for long. NL plating a couple of 3 runs, in fact, sending us to the 6th inning, tied at 6 apiece. But then at that point, it was the American League putting 2 runs across in the top half of the 6th, and they hang on to win it 8-6. And Mark, as we signed off last night, we said it's not really a series until a road team wins a game. And a big win by the road team, as it were, losing the skills competition, but winning game 1 last night was the American League.
Yeah, and I'll say that something else that was really important for that team is not only did you get the win, but you also, at least until Thursday in one case and Friday in another, you forced your opponent to burn 2 of their best pitchers in Denton Davis and Ty Edwards. And so Davis not available again until Friday, Edwards not available again until Thursday. And so now you're not going to see either of those pitchers, which granted, both teams have a pretty good stable of pitchers. But at the end of the day, if you can burn 2 of the opponent's top 2 pitchers and pick up the win, you have to feel pretty good. I think Hagen Haney pitched a really good game in the starting role there. He did throw enough pitches that theoretically, if all the games happen when they're supposed to, he won't be able to pitch again for the rest of the series unless we move into Saturday based on any potential rainouts, which hopefully, knock on wood, schedule looks like, weather looks pretty good. But coming in relief, Hunter Starling, ended up actually picking up the win in relief. I think he looked really good on the mound, and he also is a guy where he only threw enough pitches that he'll be available again Thursday. And so strategically, I think the American League really took advantage of last night, and I think that they now are potentially, from the prognostication, method there, probably your favorites. But I'll tell you, with kids who all know each other so well and so many great players on both teams, it could go either way. But I think that was a huge win for the American League last night when you think about everything that they got done here on the field.
Big time win last night for the American League. As we come to you tonight, we're getting our cameras finalized here. We did move again to the upper field. All the games will be played up here, and we will give you guys updates as well. This is not the only games going on at Exchange Park this week, as the Machine Pitch World Series, as it were, is the All-Star Classic, as it were, is being played on the field that we were on last night. So we will get you guys updates from that best-of-5 series, and we will keep you guys in the loop as we continue to roll on right here on PCL. Mark and I will return right after this. You're watching Giles County Little League All-Star Classic coverage presented all week long by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Haney Realty and Property Management, can I help you?
At Haney Realty and Property Management, we strive to help our clients with listing and buying of homes. Whether it's land, homes, or commercial, we are happy to assist you. We are licensed in Tennessee and Alabama. We are excited to be, we're excited to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County Youth Baseball this year for the All-Star Tournament. Give us a call at 931-347-9150. You can visit our website at www.
Whether you need to finance home improvements or a last-minute vacation, we can help. We offer everything from consumer loans to home equity line of credit, so you can choose the option that best meets your needs. Sit down and talk with one of our loan officers today. Give us a call at 931-424-3008 or stop by and see us. The Bank of Frank Ewing is ready to serve you. We are a member, FDIC, and equal housing lender.
If you're looking for a new job, let M&M Staffing be your guide. With over 20 years of experience, we know how to connect great people with great opportunities. We work with over 80 companies, so we're sure to find the perfect job for you. Our team is dedicated to helping you succeed, and our high customer satisfaction rate proves it. Ready to get started? Visit us at mnmstaffing.net or give us a call today at 931-347-4255.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
Back with you guys here on Pulaski Citizen Live. Wade Neely saying hello alongside Mark Mize. Scott Stewart, our producer this evening. Chandler Harmon was our pregame producer. Speaking of pregame, good as time as any to run down our sponsor list for this week. Mark, we ran through all these last night, but we're going to shout them out again. Your GCLL All-Star Week coverage is presented, as always, by Haney Realty and Property Management. But still to come, we have your Tennessee Crossroads Realty starting lineups. PES Energize will be in charge of our pitching changes tonight. Anytime there's a base hit, brought to you by Winterburn and Associates. Pulaski Natural Gas will hand out your defensive player of the game. McDonald's stepping up to the plate, pardon the pun, but strikeouts, home runs, and player of the game sponsor all this week. At the end of every inning, it'll be a First Realty Group inning break. And then last night, we had the Bank of Frank Ewing sponsoring our skills competition fielding drills, and SDRHS sponsoring our home run derby. Those are our sponsors for this specific event, but also all Pulaski Citizen Live sports coverage is brought to you by some of these you have just heard, but these guys are with us all year round, and they are First Realty Group, Bank of Frank Ewing, Haney Realty and Property Management, Haney Financial Solutions, M&M Staffing, Pulaski Natural Gas, and STRHS. And, of course, Mark, as we mentioned, our title sponsor is Haney Realty and Property Management.
Yeah, and absolutely. Thanks so much to all those that helped make this possible. Really impressed with how many came out and were willing to support, this local All-Star Classic. At the end of the day, you're seeing the players who are going to be the high school stars of tomorrow. You want to have your kind of finger on the pulse of the future of baseball and, of course, locally softball as well. Not fielded today, of course. You have to be around these local parks, see some of these kids play, because, of course, me and you, Wade, how many times did we see kids grow up and we go on to see them become tremendous high school players and even go to some of the local colleges and become college stars as well. And so it all starts here. This is for a lot of the kids. They've been in baseball for, at this point, 6-7 years in some cases. But this is really impressive to see how they've grown, and they're just going to continue to grow. So thanks to our sponsors who make this possible, and thanks to all the viewers as well. Remember, the number one thing you can do for us is if you enjoy what you see here on Pulaski Citizen Live, please tell a friend about this opportunity to see some of the best and brightest young athletes in the county.
You said it best, partner. The best way is literally just old school word of mouth. Just let somebody know about what we got going on here at PCL. and we certainly would appreciate that. We know our sponsors would as well. Speaking of our sponsors, we mentioned that it's the Tennessee Crossroads Realty starting lineup. It is time now for tonight's starting lineup. Tennessee Crossroads Realty has a great lineup of local realtors you can count on to hit a home run for you. So whether you are buying or selling property, let Karen Sorrow, Ronald Story, Kyle Wallace, Brad Phillips, Shelley Goolsby, and Avian Bost, all of the all-stars at Tennessee Crossroads Realty, help you. Visit them at 314 South 1st Street. That's behind the post office. Or visit tnhomesforyou.com or give them a call at 363-3366. Mark, if you would, let's meet the National League starting lineup. They're going to be in the field, and then I'll get us through our AL, who's going to bat first here in game number 2.
Absolutely. And so at third base, it's going to be Denton Davis. Pitching, Kason Stout. At shortstop, Ty Edwards. At first base, Maddox Wells. At right center, it's going to be, well, actually, I can barely read that last name. Can you get that for me real quick?
Benton.
Ryan Benton. There we go. My apologies. Left field is going to be Nate Edwards. Your catcher is going to be Manuel Estrada. Second base, Gilberto Garcia. Left center, Rhett Dooley. And in right field, Dawson Oakley. So that, once again, was your defensive starting lineup for the National League.
Thank you to Mark for that. And your AL starting lineup, Mason Blaylock, Braden Underwood, Hunter Starling, Hagan Haney, Dawson Lee, Braxton Richardson, Judah Reisner, Sam Jackson, Brantley Swanner, Everett Chapman, Harold Ryder. Not too many changes in the lineup, it seems, Mark, as these coaches and players get ready for game number 2. The NL, again, your designated home team tonight.
Yeah, and it should be another great one. Once again, pitching is something we really watched last night, and so that'll be something important here tonight, as well as how deep can your starters go into the game? Can they, of course, save a few extra guys in case, something goes awry in the nightcap? And also now, remember, last night, of course, if you throw more than 20 pitches, then you couldn't play today.
Right.
But because Wednesday is an open day in the week, the only open day I believe that is initially scheduled, that means that you can go have guys throw a little bit longer tonight and still get them for the next game in the series, which would be theoretically games 4 and 5 on Thursday. So that extra night off on Wednesday night allows you to do a few more things with your pitching staff that you couldn't do last night in terms of keeping them fresh for the very next game.
Chance to get creative with the lineups. Thanks to Scott once again for all of his production. He's down at field level tonight. May join us at some point before it's all said and done. But a little after 5:45, 5:47, in fact, we are underway, and there's a first pitch swinging, and that is a ground ball out to short and speeding down to first. Mason Blaylock has a Winterburn and Associates hit to start things off.
Blaylock, a left-handed hitter, he gets out of that batter's box really quickly there, and just a really, really good job of slapping an infield single and then just running it out down to first base. And so now you have a really quick runner on first, and you have something going here in the top of the first inning.
Stout's on the mound as this pitch is in there for a strike. Again, on the upper field, which looks totally different if you haven't been here in a while. Entrance to the press box has changed. This one's fouled away. Daniel Haney is our official statistician all week. I believe the scoreboard has even moved from last year. Yeah, it's out there. Dead, yeah, I thought that was right. It was dead center in previous years for a long, long time. Now it's out kind of in the gap and left.
Just something else for them to aim at.
Yeah, just a little extra target practice. More on that in a second. 0-2 count. This is lifted. It'll take me a good inning to get used to that scoreboard being out there. That is caught behind home plate. Good catch. And first out as we are off and running here on PCL.
Yeah, just a great play by Estrada there to chase that one down. And, I thought for a moment he might get lost in the sun there, but he's able to kind of juggle it to himself, make the catch, and make the out. And so a key out now with a runner on base already for the American League.
Kept the runner at first as well. I'm like you, Mark. I thought tough angle, tough sun. Thought it might be as Blaylock will scoot up to second on stolen base attempt here.
And, of course, you do have your standard catcher, if I'm not mistaken, for the National League, is on the mound today in Stout. And so, maybe that's something the American League is kind of looking to. But as we've mentioned, a lot of really quality catchers, throughout this league. And so both teams probably have several guys who can catch effectively for them.
1-0 count here as Hunter Starling digs in. Starling was the hero last night for the AL. Getting the win on the mound. He went 2 for 3 at the plate.
Also had 2 homers in the home run derby. He's probably one of your better power hitters. He had a couple real long shots.
That one's in there for a called strike. Home plate umpire Troy Hughes tonight. Same crew from last night. TJ Young will be in the field.
They just swap places, the only difference, yeah. One thing of note, though, is remember last year, we really kind of had a home run fest in that series. Haven't seen our first dinger of the series yet, so we'll see if we get that today.
Moving to this field, traditionally a little easier to get them out of here.
And I think last year it was Bledsoe and Howell were the 2 guys who were really putting it out. It's funny.
Zahari Howell.
Last night after I left, I was like, I am so mad at myself for not remembering Zahari Howell's name. And literally on the drive home, I remembered it, and I was like, oh, my goodness.
3-2 count here now. You're listening to GCLL All-Star Classic coverage on PCL, brought to you all week long by Haney Realty and Property Management. American League steals game 1, 8-6 last night. We'll play 2 tonight, and a good AB there for Starling to draw the walk. And Hagan Haney will trot to the plate now.
Big opportunity for Haney here with already 1 runner in scoring position, a couple guys on base, and only 1 out. So RBI opportunity for the American League here in a scoreless ball game.
Two runners aboard. We saw the AL score a run in the top of the first last night.
One thing I'm interested in this series is the fact that, on Thursday night, we're going to get Bridgeforth coach Trent Maxwell will be on the call with us. And so that will be kind of cool to see his perspective because, we talk about these being the future high school stars, but what's their next destination?
Yeah.
Of course, it's middle school.
Bledsoe is going to be one of the standouts. They just announced the roster for Bridgeforth a couple days ago.
And they've had a really good 5-year run. I like I said, the last 5 years, I feel like Bridgeforth has had just quality team after quality team.
Haney's got a 1-1 count. Stout in a little bit of a jam here in the top half of the first. As this one in there for a strike. Pretty proud of our production crew. Again, Scott Stewart and Chandler Harmon doing all the dirty work. They're down here over 90 minutes before first pitch tonight. Here's a quick comebacker. Stout thought about going to first, still had plenty of time to throw, maybe trying to turn 2. This one scoots away. And kind of an unusual play as the run will come across, and Haney alertly kept his stride, and he's going to end up at third. The comebacker, Stout, in the grand scheme of things, made the right move going to second to get that semi-lead runner, if you will. And then in an effort to turn 2, ball was thrown away. That allowed Blaylock to come across for the first run. And then now Haney's up to third after all that.
Yeah, I think kind of what happened there was Stout had to wait a moment to throw it to second for the fielder's choice because the fielder was still moving in position. It forced them to rush the play, and rushing the play led to the errant throw there. And so that's one of those cases, is that was going to be grounded foul. That's one of those cases where if the fielder is there a moment earlier, you don't have to rush it. Stout's able to immediately toss to second, and I think you might convert a double play. And I'll tell you, a 1-4-3 double play as that would have been, that's impressive to turn at this level.
Very nearly pulled it off. 1-0 the AL leads as Dawson Lee fouls this one back. Mark, I know you were wondering, Cason Stout's ERA during the regular season, it was 3. Denton Davis led everybody with 2.05, but I really know you were wondering about the whip, which is a classic stat that everybody needs to know about in Little League Baseball. But Cason Stout actually led the league in whip, .73 GCLL Baseball Facebook sharing some of their league leaders. Stout also had the lowest average against this year at 151. But he's trailing right now. Has an 0-2 count to Lee, who struggled a little bit at the plate last night. And Lee does take a hack at that one, and that's up in his eyes, and he comes up empty. So Dawson Lee strikes out. That is a McDonald's strikeout for Stout to end the top of the first. But the AL does push a run across for the second straight night. They head to the bottom of the first with a 1-0 lead. Mark and I are back in 60 seconds as you're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Southern Tennessee Regional Health System. Pulaski is here to help you be well. Our mission is to make our community healthier, and we're your community hospital. We're committed to providing trusted care when you need it most. From wellness checks to emergencies, we're here for you and your family. Visit us today at southerntennessee.com or call 931-363-7531.
Making connections between buyers and sellers is what the real estate professionals at First Realty Group love the most. Whether it's a home, a farm, commercial property, or land, First Realty Group has the experience and know-how to market your property and help find that dream home you've been looking for. Find out why First Realty Group is first. Visit their office on the east side of the Pulaski Square, call 363-2644, and visit their website at frg1.com.
Bottom half, inning number one. Alongside Mark Mize, Wade Neely saying hello. AL strikes first, Mark. 1 run coming across as the American League will now take the field. National League will send Denton Davis, Kason Stout, and Ty Edwards to the plate. They trailed 1-0 going into the bottom of the first last night and then pushed 3 runs across as the AL does end up getting the 8-6 win.
You'll remember, though, that I think the story of last night, in my opinion, was the unearned runs. And, of course, an unearned run in the first inning there for the National League as American League comes across with a run to take a 1-0 advantage. Judah Reisner on the mound for the American League now. We'll see what we get from him.
Quick foul from Davis.
You know, you're joking around about the stats a moment ago, Wade. Call this a hot take, but I actually think whip and strikeouts per 9 innings, or in this case, per six innings, are honestly the most important stats for a pitcher. You know, a lot of people focus on ERA as that one's a blooper. Oh, it's going to one hop into the left center fielder's glove for a single. That's brought to you by
Winterburn and Associates.
But as I was saying there, you know, your ability to keep guys off base and then when they're on base, getting key strikeouts to keep the ball from getting put in play, allowing for unearned runs and stuff like that. You know, I think those are 2 of the most important stats. And so that's impressive for Stout there, especially that whip.
I agree.
Because so many people, you always hear ERA. You know, sometimes you'll see a guy 1 year has better other stats other than ERA and has an ERA of, say, 5. And the next year he has maybe 3.8, even though he's potentially pitched better the year that he had an ERA of 5. You know, it's just not always indicative.
This pitch is low. 2-0 count now to Stout after Davis reaches on the leadoff single. The only kind of chuckling I was insinuating. The funny thing, Mark, was as this one comes across, 2-1 count. The only reason I was kind of laughing is these were the kind of stats that me and some of my baseball nerd friends, even in our own Little League days, would probably try and somehow calculate manually.
Yeah.
The official bookkeepers back then were lucky to record whether it was a hit or a strikeout. But now things have advanced so much that is available at your fingertips. 3-2 count to Stout, who had a really impressive game and skills comp last night. As there will be a throw down to second
Fantastic
Wow.
throw. My goodness. Hagan Haney just with an absolute bullet down to your shortstop there at second base.
So a strike him out, throw him out. Haney with the double play.
I like the grin too afterwards. He's kind of did you get a chance to see that? That was a fantastic play, man. Just what an excellent throw. And you know what the best part is? He puts it that went a line out to second base real quick. He puts it right where his guy can already make the tag. It's already low on the body, and he can just set it to the ground.
Made it look easy there. Not a traditional 1-2-3 inning, but a 1-2-3 nevertheless, as Davis is thrown out stealing, and then Edwards just now on a one-pitch line out. As that takes us to the end of the first, it's a First Realty Group inning break, and we head to the second, 1-0 here, as the American League will bat up by a run. We come back in just a moment. It's GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Haney Financial Solutions is a New York Life company. We're for the people who put their love into action. Backed by over 175 years of experience, New York Life companies like Haney Financial Solutions have been helping people just like you protect what matters most. So go ahead and make a difference in the world. Visit NewYorkLife.com or call us today at 931-363-6490. Haney Financial Solutions. We're here to help.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
Top of inning number 2. That inning break was brought to you by First Realty Group. We're back for the second here on PCL, our YouTube channel, where you're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented all week long by our good friends at Haney Realty and Property Management. Mark, the AL got a run and then a quality defensive performance as Davis led off the inning with a single to left, but then a strikeout throwout situation. Great play from Haney behind the plate. And then we had a quick line out from Edwards. It was essentially a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the first as the AL will now bat.
Yeah, I mean, just can't say enough of good things about what they did there. And it's so important after you take the lead to have a big shutdown inning now. And so now they have an opportunity here. But Stout had a really big strikeout with a runner on third to end the top of the first. And so he's pitched well. The only run so far has been an unearned run via a failed double play attempt in which they got the fielder's choice, but then an errant throw allowed it was a two-base error for a run. Stout, too, one thing that I, kind of hate about high school ball is the fact that your catchers don't get to pitch much. That you just often you see guys have to give it up if they're the catchers. And so it's great at this level to see catchers still get to pitch because usually they have some of the best arms on your team.
Stout with a 1-0 count here to Richardson. Make it 1-1. One nothing. The AL leads. Stout's up to what is now 20 pitches.
Not bad. I think you need to average about 15 to 18 in order to still get to pitch all 6 innings. And so he's pretty close to where he could still, go for most of the game if they want him to.
2-1 for Richardson, who tattoos one out to center, but drifting all the way into the waiting glove out there over in quote-unquote right center as Benton makes the catch.
Of course, this is not only one game we'll have for you tonight, but we'll have 2 games. And so this is game 2 of the series, but game 1 of tonight's doubleheader as American League leads 1-0 here in the second.
Oh, 1. is your count.
Am I crazy or do we switch umpires? I mean, not the home plate, but your field umpire.
Langley Adams is now out there as an umpire. We'll keep tabs on that as we move along tonight. 0-2 now.
It's good to have a few backups.
That's right. Langley did it all last night anyway. He was our official timekeeper during the a lot of the skills events. Longtime supporter of Giles County Little League, and not a shock to see him out there. 0-2 the count.
Well, one of the things that's kind of special is for a lot of these parents, they're kind of having their field of dreams moments, and the fact that, they played at this park when they were young. I mean, this place has been around longer than a lot of us have been alive, of course. So, it's always good whenever guys who, grew up playing here now get a chance to see their kids realize that same dream.
2-2 delivery upcoming here to Judah Reisner. Trying to scroll back through here as Reisner reached his first 2 appearances last night. He struck out in his final AB. 2-2 on the way. And Reisner will go down with a McDonald's strikeout.
I'm going to be honest.
Second strikeout in the last 3 batters there for Stout.
I kind of feel like tonight might be a little bit of a pitcher's duel, even more than last night, just based on what we're seeing early. And it looks like the conversations they probably had defensively after last night have really kind of hit home for these fielders as they're having better performances. Admittedly, pretty small sample size in the second inning, but compared to what we saw last night too.
Oh, and 1 the count now, 1-1. That run in and may have caught Sam Jackson there on the elbow. He's a tough kid, though.
2 outs, though. And we mentioned it last night. We saw a 2-out walk that led to a run. Letting guys get on for free with 2 outs, potentially dangerous.
So Jackson aboard after the hit by pitch here. Brantley Swanner will dig in now.
But also something we saw last night is I think you get a guy on with 2 outs, especially if your guy gets behind in the count. I think you try a straight steal. So then, 1, you potentially give your guy a fresh at-bat next inning. 2, you, with 2 outs, maybe put a guy in scoring position.
This is lifted by Swanner. Coming over, though, and making a pretty good grab at second there for the National League. Gilberto Garcia, who was one of the final pitchers last night. He makes the snag in a relatively quiet inning. No runs coming across, and it's 1-0. The American League will be in the field. The NL is at the plate. When we come back after this, it'll be Maddox Wells, Ryan Benton, Nate Edwards at the dish. You're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
If you have money in your savings account that you won't need access to for the next 6 months to a year, consider moving it to a CD. This is a great way to earn higher interest rate than you would with a checking or a savings account, and you can choose the terms that best fit your needs. Give us a call or check out our website to see our latest CD special. The Bank of Frank Ewing, serving you since 1921. Call us at 931-4.
My name is Hagen Haney. I'm 12 years old and I play baseball at Giles County Little League. I play the position of catcher. I love when runners try and steal on me. It usually doesn't go well for them. Here at Haney Realty and Property Management, we are proud to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County All-Star Tournament. Our agents love listing and selling houses, and they are here to help you find the home of your dreams. You can find us at 109 South 1st Street and give us a call at 931-347-9150. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friends in real estate.
Bottom of the second here on Pulaski Citizen Live. All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management. just had a Haney RPM ad during that half-inning change. Mark Maddox Wells will bat here alongside Ryan Benton and Nate Edwards. You had mentioned a moment ago we could be in store for a little pitcher's duel. These guys, whether we're talking about Stout for the NL or if we're talking about Reisner, who's been effective here thus far.
Efficient.
Efficient if nothing else. Very well said, my friend. Both of them pitching strong thus far.
Yeah, he has a strikeout, but then his defense did some really good work on those other 2 outs, including a great throw from Hagan Haney to nab the runner at second.
This one is swung on and missed. Maddox Wells is the victim of a McDonald's strikeout.
I hope my son isn't listening. That is by far his favorite restaurant is McDonald's. At the ripe age of 21 months old.
Come on down.
Every single day. That's what he's asking for.
Got a grandma's McFlurry waiting on him. We need to investigate that. I had my first grandma's McFlurry this weekend, and they are pretty good.
So what's different about them? I actually hadn't heard this.
Let's
go ahead and finish this at batter, and then you'll just tell me.
Well, no, I was going to say let's get on the internet and make this official here.
Okay.
So I can.
I'll go ahead and call it for a moment while 2-1 count now. Reisner looks in.
Because
fires home. This one is popped up. Third base makes the play as Lee ranges over for the out. 2 down now for the American League.
Let's see. Where I was going with this, though, is McDonald's obviously sponsors our player of the game. And they might have to rig up something there.
Brings up Edwards, who swings and misses on strike number 1 from Reisner.
So we have butterscotch, peanuts.
The grounder to Reisner. Reisner fields it cleanly, fires to first. Going to be a bang-bang play. Out is made. So 1-2-3 inning for the American League. As we'll come back with the 3rd inning of action.
Yeah, we'll have more riveting Grandma McFlurry discussion, but we'll also bring you guys the top of the 3rd. That's coming your way in just a matter of moments. Mark's going to head down to the field, snap some photos for us for next week's Citizen. All part of what we got going on here as we hit the First Realty Group end of the inning. It'll be top of the 3rd action with the AL ahead 1-0 when we come back on.
Haney Realty and Property Management, can I help you?
At Haney Realty and Property Management, we strive to help our clients with listing and buying of homes. Whether it's land, homes, or commercial, we are happy to assist you. We are licensed in Tennessee and Alabama. We're excited to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County Youth Baseball this year for the All-Star Tournament. Give us a call at 931-347-9150. You can visit our website at www.haneyrealtypm.com, or you can come by and see us at 109 South 1st Street, right off the square in Pulaski. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friend in real estate.
Whether you need to finance home improvements or a last-minute vacation, we can help. We offer everything from consumer loans to home equity line of credit, so you can choose the option that best meets your needs. Sit down and talk with one of our loan officers today. Give us a call at 931-424-3008 or stop by and see us. The Bank of Franklin is ready to serve you. We are a member, FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Third inning coming your way here on PCL. This is Giles County Little League All-Star Week coverage. We're in game number 2. The American League holds a 1-0 series advantage after their 8-6 win last night. Haney Realty and Property Management is our proud title sponsor all week long. In addition to Haney Realty and Property Management, pitching changes are brought to you by PES Energize. Base hits brought to you by Winterburn and Associates. Tennessee Crossroads Realty had our starting lineups as we begin inning number 3. more of our sponsors here in just a moment as Everett Chapman will dig in here. Final two hitters in the lineup, Chapman and Ryder will bat. And then Blaylock will also come to the plate. And, man, that is smoke down the line. And a good grab over there at first. Maddox Wells guiding that one into his glove the whole way. And Chapman with a loud out to begin. Ryder had a big hit last night as he digs in here. 1-0, the visiting American League team. They won 8-6 last night. They're ahead already 1-0 here. Cason Stout is out for his third inning of work. He's up to 34 pitches now. Other sponsors include Pulaski Natural Gas, who brings you your defensive player of the game. Strikeouts, home runs, and player of the game, as we were just talking about, brought to you by McDonald's. Mark Mize has gone down to the field to take some photos as Ryder fouls another one off. He grabbed the camera. I don't think he was going to McDonald's. I was going to point out that when we were growing up here at the Exchange Park, that was always a fun treat. After your game, you and some friends would walk over to McDonald's. But proud to have them on board as one of our sponsors. Inning Breaks brought to you by First Realty Group, and our skills competition was sponsored by Bank of Frank Ewing and STRHS of Pulaski last night. This one upstairs. Stout's been a little wild tonight. But again, he is one of the top pitchers in the league. Had a great night behind the plate last night as Ryder digs in. 2-2 delivery on the way. Ryder fouling that one off. It should get out of play down the right field line. It does. Those are our GCLL All-Star Week sponsors, but in addition, shout-outs to these folks who have been with us all season long. First Realty Group, Bank of Frank Ewing, Haney Realty and Property Management, Haney Financial Solutions, M&M Staffing, Pulaski Natural Gas, and STRHS. Ryder just missed really getting onto that one. And, oh, my goodness, no one came over to field it. And at the last moment, I think Davis and Stout had some miscommunication there. And third base and pitcher's mound, no one really ever made a move for it. Davis nearly made a diving catch at the end. But it's a one-out hit for Ryder here, brought to you by Winterburn and Associates. Now this is a traditional hit. Ooh, nearly a fielder's choice there. But Blaylock poked one out to right. That is a second straight single for Ryder. Or excuse me, for Ryder is now up to second, but a second straight single for Blaylock. And the American League, with 2 runners aboard and 1 out, ahead in this contest 1-0. Underwood will dig in now. He popped up to catcher in his first AB. And so Stout in a similar jam. The AL got 1 run in the top of the first, swung on and missed. And Mark has gone downstairs. We told you guys that this gentleman was here last night, though. Special guest commentator for a little bit here is Mr. Guy Schaefer, the staff photographer for Giles County Little League. How you doing, my friend?
Doing fantastic, Mr. Neely. It's good to see you again tonight.
Good to be with you, partner.
Some good baseball action going on here again.
0-2 count to Braden Underwood, who slashes this one down the right field line. That does trickle foul. Guy, you've seen a lot of these kids all season long. It is so fun to watch them come together, especially this collection of kids, because we have teammates that are now opposition, which has been fun to see through one night of play thus far.
Yeah, you really notice a big difference when they get to this particular division here with Little League. Some of these kids are really starting to show their skills, on the mound, on the field, at the plate. It's fun to watch.
Little dribbler here from Underwood comes back to the mound. Stout with a bullet over to first. Out is recorded. Ryder scoots up to third. Blaylock trailing him to second. So they do get the out, but the runners did take an extra bag. So 2 runners in scoring position here. And Underwood on the 1-3 put out. 2 outs here. 1-0 your score. And you might potentially think about definitely pitching around Hunter Starling here. One of the more fearful hitters in the league. Let's see how aggressive the National League gets on the mound.
Yeah, he had quite a reputation during the season, not only for pitching, they didn't like facing him.
Yeah.
But they didn't like pitching to him either.
He got the win last night, came in relief and was very effective. Let's see if he'll get anything close to the plate. That one does nibble the corner for a 1-1 count.
Yeah, it was a good pitch.
2 outs here in the top of the third. I got a question I want to ask a guy here in a moment related to his commentary experience. The answer may surprise you here in a moment. 2-1 is the count. Let's see what Starling can do, though. Got runners in scoring position. Ryder with a bloop single. Starling takes a mighty cut there for a 2-2 count now.
That was actually a good location on that pitch. It was outside corner and just a bit low, so he had to kind of go down to kind of get after it and ended up missing it.
Huge moment coming up right here. 2-2 delivery with 2 on and 2 out. AL ahead. Starling does make contact. It's a little nubber back to the mound. And they will send Ryder. And he's out at the plate. So Starling had beat it out. But as a result, Ryder, I get the idea, but Ryder waited maybe a touch too late to make his move for home. And as a result, he is tagged out at the plate. And that is a big out recorded. And so we hit the half-inning mark. Guy and I will return right after this. Middle of the third. It's 1-0. The American League still leads when we come back in just a moment. You're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
If you're looking for a new job, let M&M Staffing be your guide. With over 20 years of experience, we know how to connect great people with great opportunities. We work with over 80 companies, so we're sure to find the perfect job for you. Our team is dedicated to helping you succeed, and our high customer satisfaction rate proves it. Ready to get started? Visit us at mnmstaffing.net or give us a call today at 931-347-4255.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
Bottom of the third, rolling right along here on PCL. Wade Neely sitting in the saddle alongside our good friend Guy Schaefer. And Guy, we'll get into it. You've joined us for a few broadcasts. I think you've hopped in the booth for football, basketball, an inning or two of baseball or softball throughout the years. But you also have an interesting moonlight type gig of another sport where you kind of serve in a broadcast capacity. Tell us as we kick off the bottom of the third here what that's all about.
Yeah, that's right, Wade. And of course, it's being from Canada. It was my first sport that I kind of fell in love with, and that's hockey. Me and 3 or 4 guys, we broadcast affectionately called the Beer League Hockey down there in Huntsville. And we treat it like it's NHL, but of course, a lot of the skill level is quite low. which makes for a lot of fun. But we've had a great time doing. Fat met a guy the other night, last Sunday, who's from Australia, and they watch us in Australia.
So you guys have gone as we got a 2-0 count that now goes to 2-1 to our leadoff hitter, Manuel Estrada. You guys, you do call the game, but you guys have a lot of fun with it too, right? And you've kind of gone viral with some of your clips I've been seeing.
Yeah, it's been kind of fun to watch because we really did it for the personal enjoyment, but we've had a couple clips get into the 1.2, 1.3 millions of views, so it's kind of fun.
3-1 delivery here. Quick walk as Estrada will scoot down to second. Manuel Estrada started this game at catcher. And now it'll be Gilberto Garcia, who came in, suffered technically the tough loss last night on the mound, but he was pretty effective, even though he suffered the loss. Leadoff runners aboard.
Yeah, I like the way Gilberto plays the game, actually. He's very, very passionate, very energetic, and really committed out there, and he seems to have a lot of fun.
A little smaller in stature, but, man, his mound presence was impressive last night.
Absolutely.
0-1 count here. He pops this one up. That should get out of play. It does. National League behind on the scoreboard here, trying to potentially tie this one up in the bottom of the third. The AL scored a run in the top of the first last night. They do the same tonight in game number 2. And again, if you're just joining us, they stole game 1 last night as the visiting team, 1-0. That one's off the edge, 1-2 now.
Yeah, you alluded to it at the end of the last inning there, Wade, but that was a big out at the plate because the bases would have been loaded.
Yeah, Starling, as this one scoots upstairs. Starling, we were curious if they would even pitch to him, and they eventually had it to a full count. And he nibs one off the end of the bat there, beats the play out at first, and then Ryder over at third got a little ambitious and went home and was out. This is a hot shot out to third, too hot to handle for the AL third baseman tonight, and tough luck over there for Dawson Lee. 2 runners aboard now. Estrada moves up to second. Garcia's over there at first. Rhett Dooley will now bat. These are the last 2 hitters in the lineup, Dooley and Oakley. Reisner has pitched well thus far for the American League. Let's see if he can get out of dodge here. 1-0 your score. This is foul back into the netting. So a 1-1 count. This is well hit, and yeah, that finds the hole. It was so sharply hit, but they're going to wave the runner. And now Estrada's going to have to really peel back. He's caught in a rundown. Quick throw down there, quick throw down back into home. And now Lee's going to try and run him down single-handedly. He does. Now a throw to third. Heads up base running from Garcia. But Estrada is ultimately tagged out by Lee. And so the AL does get a huge out to keep the game in their favor at 1-0.
I don't know if you noticed, Wade, but when Lee was chasing him down, he grit his teeth and stretched and tagged him just at the last second. It was a really good play by Dawson Lee.
Our producer, Scott Stewart, had a good angle on that one right there. As you could see, Lee, you're exactly right. He said, you know what, there's only one way I'm trusting to get this out, and that's just me. Speaking of viral videos, I saw a clip 2 weeks ago, and I forget where the game took place. But it was a youth baseball game, and the ball was hit to the outfield. As this one is in there for a called strike to Dawson Oakley. Ball's hit to the outfield guy, and some sort of rundown occurs, and the runner takes off from second, rounding the bag the whole way, and the outfielder runs him all the way home to tag him out just before home plate. This is going to stay, and it's going to stay fair. And a bang-bang play at first And that will be the second out of the inning, as Oakley, a little blooper that died right there near the foul line.
Oh, he was just beat by that throw. It was a good play by the infield, but it was like you said, it was bang, bang.
So Denton Davis will now come to the plate. And this is a big situation, as there are 2 runners in scoring position, but the AL still has that 1-0 lead. You were kind of nodding along. Did you see that clip too?
Yeah, that was
It runs him down from like center field.
Well, I think the weird thing about that play was a couple guys weren't playing the position where they're supposed to. Like, he was going to throw to third, but for some reason, the third baseman wasn't quite there yet. But it was quite hilarious.
The funny part is I just told you guys it was youth baseball. It was Ohio high school. So I guess youth is technically true, but not as youthful as I may have indicated. And we have a pitching change amidst all this, and PES Energize is our pitching change sponsor. So we are going to take a quick break. The American League has got 2 outs, but the NL has 2 aboard. We'll have a big at-bat coming up after this. Pitching change brought to you by PES Energize right after this.
Southern Tennessee Regional Health System. Pulaski is here to help you be well. Our mission is to make our community healthier, and we're your community hospital. We're committed to providing trusted care when you need it most. From wellness checks to emergencies, we're here for you and your family. Visit us today at southerntennessee.com or call 931-363-7531.
Making connections between buyers and sellers is what the real estate professionals at First Realty Group love the most. Whether it's a home, a farm, commercial property, or land, First Realty Group has the experience and know-how to market your property and help find that dream home you've been looking for. Find out why First Realty Group is first. Visit their office on the east side of the Pulaski Square, call 363-2644, and visit their website at frg1.com.
Call to the bullpen. Well, call to the infield, as Mason Blaylock will now come in to pitch for the American League. Reisner goes 35 pitches. Guy, that's kind of been the cat and mouse game, as these managerial staffs have tried to maximize and strategize their pitching staffs. And by taking Reisner out when they did, that allows him to potentially pitch after just 1 day's rest. And as Mark mentioned earlier in our broadcast, we are scheduled to be off tomorrow. So essentially he could pitch the next game or next day after tonight, I suppose. Couldn't pitch game 3 tonight, but he could pitch game 4 on Thursday. As Blaylock now digs in on the mound and gets an early strike. Denton Davis led off the game in the bottom of the first with a single. He was thrown out stealing for the second out of the inning. Good play from Haney behind the plate. This pitch getting behind, and there will be a play at the plate yet again. And wow, Garcia is out at the plate for the third out of the inning. Talk about a crazy turn of events. The NL has its first 3 runners reach base, and nobody scores. Estrada was tagged out in a rundown for the first out. Oakley was recorded as an out at the bottom of the lineup, and just now Davis did not even get a chance to swing the bat, as a wild pitch situation leads to a tag out at the plate. Garcia is the third out, and that takes us to the end of the third. An inning change means it's time to shout out our friends at First Realty Group, and that also means it'll be 4th inning action when we return after this here on PCL. You're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Haney Financial Solutions is a New York Life company. We're for the people who put their love into action. Backed by over 175 years of experience, New York Life companies, like Haney Financial Solutions, have been helping people just like you protect what matters most. So go ahead and make a difference in the world. Visit NewYorkLife.com or call us today at 931-363-6490. Haney Financial Solutions. We're here to help.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management. Thanks to the proprietor, Daniel Haney, for letting us know he's also the official scorekeeper for this week. Letting us know that Stout, this will be his final batter as Hagan Haney leads things off here. Stout is technically up to 50 pitches, but this will be his final AB. Haney, second time through the lineup. His first at bat, he had that crazy play where the fielder's choice, the out was recorded at second. There were runners on first and second. They got the middle out, trying to turn two. And trying to turn two, the ball got away down the first baseline as this one's fouled back. And not only did the run come home, Haney moved up to third amidst all that. Would have potentially scored before Lee, who's in the on-deck circle, struck out. So final meeting tonight between Stout, the pitcher, and Haney, the batter. And it'll be a full count here. Mark Mize still down on field level taking photos for us. Scott Stewart, our producer, and this one's fouled back. Special guest commentary right now from the one, the only, Guy Schaefer.
I like to keep my comments to a minimum so people don't actually discover how little I know about baseball.
It is. You mentioned your it's a 3-2 count.
Oh, chopper to third.
Tough play coming up for Davis. Ooh, and a great throw that just got in the dirt at the end. Wells nearly scoops it out, but Haney is aboard.
Yeah.
An infield umpire, Langley Adams, was ready to make the punch out until he saw the ball outside the glove.
Yeah, I was just going to say, had he held on to that, I'm pretty sure they beat him. It would have been an out.
Scoreboard update, as we mentioned, that'll be a pitching change. And it looks like Garcia, who we just touted a moment ago for his pitching last night, will pitch a little bit more here this evening. Before we bring you this PES Energized pitching change timeout, we want to tell you guys that the end of the third on the middle field, the machine pitch division, the American League leads that series 7-5, leads that game number 1 7-5. They led 5-2 earlier. Now it's 7-5. So with that being said, we do have a PES pitching change. PES Energized bringing you all of our changes on the mound this week as you watch GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management, and we are back after this.
If you have money in your savings account that you won't need access to for the next 6 months to a year, consider moving it to a CD. This is a great way to earn higher interest rate than you would with a checking or a savings account, and you can choose the terms that best fit your needs. Give us a call or check out our website to see our latest CD special. The Bank of Frank Ewing, serving you since 1921. Call us at 931-4.
My name is Hagan Haney. I'm 12 years old and I play baseball at Giles County Little League. I play the position of catcher. I love when runners try and steal on me. It usually doesn't go well for them. Here at Haney Realty and Property Management, we are proud to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County All-Star Tournament. Our agents love listing and selling houses, and they are here to help you find the home of your dreams. You can find us at 109 South First Street and give us a call at 931-347-9150. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friends in real estate.
Pitching change brought to you by PES Energized. Gilberto Garcia, who did toss a couple of frames last night, is on the bump here tonight. There goes Haney. He takes second. Oh, and he may have third on his mind here as he will get an extra bag. So Garcia comes in, and a wild pitch leads to 2 free bags there. Heads up base running from Haney, who showcased that prowess on the base pass in his first at bat tonight. A wild throw on a fielder's choice. He took all the way to third. Lee absolutely uncorks one. Base of the wall. It'll stay in the yard. It'll be a very long single, but a huge RBI single for Dawson Lee, and a much-needed extra run there for the American League, and good for Lee, who had been in a bit of a funk in the first game and a half in this series, guy. Now all of a sudden has righted the ship as the AL leads 2-0.
I'll tell you, Wade, he didn't need anything to look at. That was first pitch, and he nailed that thing.
Absolutely uncorked. Just got underneath it. Or if he had just got underneath it a touch more, that thing would be out of here.
Yeah,
that was a laser shot.
It was. You almost could have said a little lower. It was a line drive, but I agree. If he had just got under that, I don't think it stays in the park.
So Garcia now trying to keep the damage to a minimum here. There's still nobody out. 2-0. We're in the 4th inning. Here on PCL's YouTube channel. This is a special video broadcast as Lee will take a free bag. Garcia, man, he really came in and, like we said earlier, a pressure cooker situation last night and was very effective, even though he ran into a little tough luck, but has kind of struggled here to find the zone. As this is fouled right in front of us in the side netting as Braxton Richardson will dig in. That was a Winterburn and Associates base knock, by the way, a loud knock from Lee a moment ago. As we move along here in the top of the 4th.
Little high and inside, lost him.
Yep, Richardson earns a quick walk. Runners are now at first and second. Again, still nobody out. Judah Reisner, who started the game at pitcher, will now dig in.
Strike one.
Now got 3 camera angles going, courtesy of our production magic, brought to you by Scott Stewart tonight.
Scott Stewart is the man.
He's done a great job of pulling all this together for a second straight year. There ain't no doubt. This is well hit, but it's going to get out of play from Reisner. As we have a 2-0 lead. Garcia trying to deal his way out of this sticky situation. And did Reisner get contact? No, he did not. He missed. Thought we might have got a foul ball there, but That is a big McDonald's strikeout for Gilberto Garcia. First out of the inning via the K.
It was a really nice pitch by Garcia. Oh, that's hammered.
This is ripped by Jackson out to right. And kind of like we saw with Lee, the ball was hit so hard, even though the outfielder dropped it, plenty of time to get it back in, so the bases are loaded. The bad news is Garcia gave up another Winterburn and Associates hit. Sam Jackson, by the way, has had a couple of big hits in this series. But the good news is everybody had to stay put by and large because of the velocity there. Little number down the line at third. Stout charging. Couldn't come up with it on the bare hand attempt. I'm not sure where he was going to try and throw. His only real play was at first, but he couldn't snag it. And that is a big extra run there as Dawson Lee comes home. That one off the end of the bat of Swanner.
Yeah, it was almost like a full swing bunt in a way because it didn't even make it all the way to third, and he really didn't have many options at that point.
Three 0 now. The AL leads. We're in the top of the fourth. They scored one run in the first. And then push two across here now. Yep, and there's going to be at least one run, probably two, as this finds a nice soft patch of grass out in deep center. And that's a two-run double for Everett Chapman. Chapman did a good job of base running there, too. He was already thinking about going to second. And then especially once he saw that the bag was largely uncovered, he takes the bag.
Yeah, it was very smart base running. Real heads-up play.
So that is two more runs. And the AL suddenly breaking this thing open. It's 5-0 now after several Winterburn and Associates base hits here in this frame.
And just one out, Wade.
Yeah, the damage might not be fully done just yet, I'm afraid, for the NL here. Runners are at second and third. And Ryder at the bottom of the lineup had a big hit last night. He will go down swinging here. I was just getting ready to say he is a boom or bust hitter. If he makes contact, look for it to go a long way, but if he does not, it could end in a strikeout. And that is a second McDonald's strikeout for Garcia, who's trying to just get through this frame after the AL has pushed 4 runs across. They lead at 5-0 here in the top half of inning number 4. Little swinging bunt, and it wasn't conventional. That's an out at the plate.
Holy smokes.
As that ball was tattooed right up the middle, and kind of the way that the play developed there, the National League just fires one home, and a out at the plate for the third out is how this one comes to an end. But not before a lot of damage has been done. Middle of the fourth here on PCL, and the AL strikes for 4 runs. They lead at 5-0 when we come back as you're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Haney Realty and Property Management, can I help you?
At Haney Realty and Property Management, we strive to help our clients with listing and buying of homes. Whether it's land, homes, or commercial, we are happy to assist you. We are licensed in Tennessee and Alabama. We're excited to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County Youth Baseball this year for the All-Star Tournament. Give us a call at 931-347-9150. You can visit our website at www.haneyrealtypm.com, or you can come by and see us at 109 South 1st Street, right off the square in Pulaski. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friend in real estate.
Whether you need to finance home improvements or a last-minute vacation, we can help. We offer everything from consumer loans to home equity line of credit, so you can choose the option that best meets your needs. Sit down.
We're back here on PCL. Guy Schaefer is to my left. Daniel Haney farther to my left is your official scorekeeper. Scott Stewart is down field level, as is Mark Mize as we begin the bottom of the fourth. That is a nice hit. Remember, folks, Davis was the leadoff hitter, so a second straight hit for Davis. All of them brought to you by Winterburn and Associates Insurance. But, Guy, you remember Garcia was tagged out trying to steal home. And that was when the game was 1-0. It could have been a 1-1 game. So Davis leads off the inning in the fourth after all that.
Yeah, the NL really needs to respond this inning offensively. They at least put a couple runs on the board will help them.
Stout will dig in now. He struck out in the first inning. GCHS. Some future GCHS and future Raider talent on plays. Where I was going with that was Stout, especially. I forgot he was likely going to end up as a Richland product. And that's what that's what Mark said earlier, is kind of the cool thing about seeing these youngsters, and especially if you patrol the ballpark, you see the signs with the names of the kids that have made all-star state tournaments, Southeast regional type runs. A lot of them end up going on to become really successful middle school, high school, and even collegiate standouts.
Yeah, I actually spent some time reading the signs there one day. Old Langley's name is up there.
Yep.
Of course, some of our friends, Zach Bailey's name was up there.
There's a slapper out to third, and Lee got gobbled up by one to start the inning, but he makes a great play deep in the hole for the first out.
Yeah, that was a very good throw from third to first.
Yeah, you're right. Especially you go back and you're like, man, no. You look back and at the time you're saying, okay, this is a pretty good team. And then obviously they make a deep run. Their name it gets up on the wall here. And then you look back and you say, I shouldn't have been surprised that a team that had Bo Wallace, Zach Bailey, Langley Adams, those type guys all on one team, shouldn't be surprised really in the grand scheme of things that they did pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think it's fun with the kids to see their coaches' names up there and go, oh, these guys are not only our coach, they were legitimate ball players in the day.
Mm-hmm. As Edwards digs in now. This is a 1-1 count. Blaylock's on the mound. 5-0 is your score. That pitch nearly ran in and got Edwards.
Cool as a cucumber, though. He just barely let it slide by, and he's back in there digging in again.
Swings and misses here. That got away from the catcher, but it was fouled off. Count goes to 2-2. Here on a good-looking Tuesday night. This is really slapped out to second, but Reisner does a good job of picking it up and firing on in time for the out. Edwards has had 2 tough luck outs. He's really tattooed the ball twice tonight and gotten thrown out and lined out in his first at bat. So Maddox Wells will dig in now.
Yeah, it was a great hit, but right to Reisner, and he made a great play to first. Second out of the inning.
So Wells will dig in. First baseman for the NL. He's made some good plays at the plate tonight. Or, excuse me, at the bag at first tonight. Here on night number 2, we will play this game, game 2, and then game 3 will follow.
Wells is getting a good contact on the ball. He was just a bit behind that one, and it fouled out on the first base line.
As the old Little League parents would say, straighten it out.
We had to get out of the way of that one.
Yeah, had to duck just to avoid it. As a throwback to the pitcher gets away, and that is how the National League scores its first run of the night. Tough break there as the shutout is no longer intact. Davis with heads-up base running. Kind of just a nonchalant moment there between pitcher and catcher, and Davis made him pay as this pitch is outside, so the count will go 3-2 now. Full count on the way. 5-1 is your new score. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Wells does straighten this one out, but he sends it right to short. And across the diamond in time. And the National League does play to run. That is a valuable run to keep this thing remotely close here after the 6-3 put out. That takes us to the bottom, to the top of the 5th, which means it's the end of the inning, which is sponsored by First Realty Group. And Guy and I will return right after this as GCLL All-Star Week Classic baseball coverage rolls right along here on PCL. We're presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Whether you need to finance home improvements or a last-minute vacation, we can help. We offer everything from consumer loans to home equity line of credit, so you can choose the option that best meets your needs. Sit down and talk with one of our loan officers today. Give us a call at 931-424-3008 or stop by and see us. The Bank of Frank Ewing is ready to serve you. We are a member, FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
Back with you guys here on Pulaski Citizen Live. Thanks to First Realty Group for that end of inning update as Gilberto Garcia back on the mound. And the American League, Guy Schaefer, they gave up a run in the bottom of the 4th, so it's now 5-1. But they really put a lot of pressure on the NL a couple of moments ago with 4 runs in the top half of the frame. So 5-1. And the AL potentially going to look for more here as they've got some heavy hitters coming to the plate. Heart of the order coming up for the American League in this top of the 5th.
Yeah, it's easy to let things get away if this goes, I think, past 5 runs. If they can keep them scoreless at this inning and then put a few more on the boards, we might get something interesting coming down to the end there.
Garcia came in relief a moment ago and kind of ran into some tough luck, much like he did last night. But he remains out there. Both pitchers currently at the moment have thrown 21 apiece. So Underwood will lead us off here. It's Braden Underwood. Talk about tough luck, guy. Had a very tough pop out to catcher. Estrada made a great play behind the plate in foul territory to grab it in the first. And then a really tough luck comebacker. But he gets his revenge here as he slaps one down the bag at third. And that's a leadoff single. All hits this week brought to you by our friends at Winterburn and Associates. And that was a big one from Underwood to start the frame.
Yeah, it was a good knockdown by Stout on third because that could have been an extra base hit very easily. He hammered that thing. But Stout just got his glove on it, knocked it down, and held him at first.
Swung on and missed. And Underwood, who I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, won one of the base running drills last night, he immediately scoots down to second on a stolen base. So now a runner quickly in scoring position here. That one is outside, 1-1.
Yep, Garcia's got it cut out for him now. He's facing some of the biggies here, one after the other.
Starling has reached base on both occasions, as it were. But for those that have been with us all night, with two runners aboard, Starling slapped one on the infield. They threw to first. He beat the throw. But on the throw, as a swing and a miss here, the throw home, they were able to tag Ryder out. So technically a single there for Starling, but didn't feel like he had a lot to show for it. 2-2 delivery. This is a big AB here. And Starling finds the hole, and they will immediately not only send Starling to second, but they'll send Underwood home. I'm not sure who had the bigger green light because Starling, for a ball that was hit hard in the outfield, and we've seen that a couple times tonight, Guy. The ball has been hit so hard at times in the outfield that runners have been kind of robbed of an extra bag because the outfield's got it in quickly. But Starling did not slow down, but neither did Underwood, who scoots home, and it's 6-1 now, favoring the AL.
Yeah, it was a heads-up play by Starling. Like you said, it was a shot. I think a one bouncer to the outfield. But he did not slow down at all coming around first.
So Hagen Haney will dig in now. Haney has reached in both of his at-bats. 2-0 your count here. 6-1 is your score. We are in the fifth of 6 scheduled innings. This is hit a ton, but it's also popped up, but there's trouble in the outfield. But I think Dooley comes up and makes the grab, and they have to tag Starling. Did they get the tag? I don't think so. That was the only key there is you had to apply a tag, and I don't know that they applied it in time. So the runner's at third. Not a sacrifice, and they're going to appeal back down to second now. Appeal denied. So not a sacrifice, but essentially. And so Dawson Lee, who was the second AL base runner to score in the big rally a moment ago, he's at the plate. This is tattooed out to center. And the AL's just stringing together a couple nice hits. That one, again, brought to you by Winterburn and Associates Insurance. The run will score as Starling comes home. Good base running there from Starling. And it's 7-1 favoring the American League guy.
I mean, not much you could do there, Wade. 2 really good hits. Here's another one straight up the middle.
Man, they are really finding the hole right now as Braxton Richardson. That's, what is that? 5 straight singles as Lee scoots on up to second.
Estrada goes to the mound. They have a little conference.
Excuse me, 4 out of 5 singles as Haney flew out. So just 1 out in this inning. It's 7-1. And this will be the final batter for Garcia, who's just been tabbed there. Lee at second. Richardson at first. Judah Reisner, who started this game at pitcher, digs in. It's 7-1 here. This is hit out to right center. Good catch. 2 outs. All the balls that have been hit on the ground in this inning have found the holes, but all the ones that have gotten in the air have been caught. So 2 flyouts for the 2 outs here in this frame.
Yeah, it's good, really nice basic baseball. You hit singles and you do enough of them in a row, you're going to start putting runs across, and that's what these guys have done.
So Sam Jackson will dig in, but not before we have a PES Energize pitching change. Looks like Rhett Dooley's going to be on the mound. He'll toss it when we come back after this. The National League will make a change. Again, all pitching changes this week brought to you by PES Energize. We return after this here on PCL.
If you're looking for a new job, let M&M Staffing be your guide. With over 20 years of experience, we know how to connect great people with great opportunities. We work with over 80 companies, so we're sure to find the perfect job for you. Our team is dedicated to helping you succeed, and our high customer satisfaction rate proves it. Ready to get started? Visit us at mnmstaffing.net or give us a call today at 931-347-4255.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
PES Energize pitching change. And we also have made a call to the bullpen. Guy Schaefer is gone. Mark Mize is
he's in line for the win, though.
Yeah, he is. He's destined to pick up the win if this score were to hold. As thanks to Guy for joining us, Mark Mize has returned with a camera full of photos and a belly full of popcorn here. The concession stand remains undefeated at Exchange Park.
It's been good. I'll tell you, one of the more interesting stats I heard just now was I was talking to Troy Hughes down there, who is your home plate umpire, and he said of the 22 kids, 17 of these All-Stars are zoned for Richland.
I made a Richland comment earlier, and I speculated a few of them for sure were no doubters, legacies almost, if you will. But man, Coach Hughes maybe resurfaces as a head coach in a couple of years with those type numbers. As a big swing and a miss there from Jackson.
Well, I asked him, I said, hey, do you still do any of the groundskeeping over at Richland? And he goes, when I get a call, I'll still occasionally go out there. And I always know that he's one of the best in the business when it came to that. So I know that'd probably be a hard thing for him to completely give up, even if you give up the coaching reins. Honestly, though, I will say this, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. My favorite interview in terms of, consistent coach interview out of all the ones that I've interviewed over the last 12 years has always been Troy Hughes. Just one of the most honest coaches in the business. He'll tell you exactly what he's got, exactly what his team's like. Not that everyone isn't honest, but at the end of the day, a lot of teams will, coaches will kind of hype things up, will, kind of make things sound a little better than they are. But you want to talk about a guy who just loves the sport, as that one's fouled off, just loves the sport and just loves to talk baseball, Troy Hughes. And the funny thing was, back whenever he was the offensive coordinator for Richland, that was back whenever we had the television show. And if you remember correctly, Joe Moose didn't really enjoy doing it when he was head coach. And so he sent Troy And some of the best conversations that we ever had on the show wasn't with the head coach. It was with Troy Hughes, who came in each and every week and did a 15-minute show with us, even though, he had all the responsibilities of doing middle school and high school football and middle school and high school baseball, including being a teacher. So just one of the guys I have the most respect for in the business.
Truly a man of many talents. As this pitch gets low, and Jackson, by not swinging it, that one allows the runners to cruise on up. Lee's at third. Richardson's at second. 3-2 count with 2 outs here. Jackson, again, he swings very hard, and when he does make contact, it has some heat on it, but it goes right into the glove, and Davis corrals it and fires it on in time, and we head to the bottom of the 5th. It's getting close to the end here for the National League. They trail by 6 runs, and it is 7-1 when we come back after this here on PCL. All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
Southern Tennessee Regional Health System. Pulaski is here to help you be well. Our mission is to make our community healthier, and we're your community hospital. We're committed to from wellness checks to emergencies. We're here for you and your family. Visit us today at southerntennessee.com or call 931-363-7531.
Making connections between buyers and sellers is what the real estate professionals at First Realty Group love the most. Whether it's a home, a farm, commercial property, or land, First Realty Group has the experience and know-how to market your property and help find that dream home you've been looking for. Find out why First Realty Group is first. Visit their office on the east side of the Pulaski Square, call 363-2644, and visit their website at frg1.com.
Getting close to the end of this one, and time is running out for the National League here. AL's ahead in this best-of-7 game series, 1-0. But they're also ahead in game number 2. It's 7-1, Mark Mize, as time is fleeting for the National League. And they're going to try and claw back in this thing. Blaylock is still on the mound for the AL. He's up to 22 pitches now. This will be lifted, and it will find the grass out there in right center. Ryan Benton. We've seen a couple leadoff walks, but we've also seen a couple nice leadoff singles, including that one from Benton. All of our hits this week brought to you by Winterburn and Associates Insurance.
Something I'll have to ask Daniel Haney about in a moment is, in high school baseball, because of the pitch count rules, it's per day, not per game. And so and granted, I don't think any of them will come back, but the question is, can any of the pitchers from game 1 come back in game 2? Because, like I said, in high school, you could, because it's per day rather than per game. So if you get in trouble and you're like, we really need him back, to make sure that we close this one out and get a victory, will in game 2 you see any of the pitchers pitch again?
It's a great point. Who knows what could happen? If this score holds, the National League is going to potentially really be scrambling for a victory in tonight's nightcap. They'd be trailing as this one gets away. And Benton takes the free bag there. American League will be the designated home team for games 3 and 4, which is our next game tonight and then our first game on Thursday.
Well, because both fields are technically the home field, really it's the question of, do you like batting first or do you like pitching first?
Yep.
That's really the advantage here. And honestly, like I said, you'd have to ask the coaches to make sure, but it almost kind of seems like the American League likes going first.
Yeah.
If they've been able to get early leads and then, take leads in the top half of the inning, and at times the National League has struggled to answer.
Blaylock losing control here as both Edwards and Benton will scoot on up a bag. Estrada had that crazy rundown earlier where he was tagged out by Lee. First base is open, but with 2 strikes here, Blaylock's got full permission to come right at Estrada here. 1-2 count. That one low in the zone.
I'll tell you the thing about that rundown. I initially thought I was like, Lee's going to have to throw it. There's no way he catches him. And man, he turned on the afterburners there. I was really surprised he had the speed to catch him. And sure enough, had a couple big strides. He's probably the tallest player out of all of these players, if I'm not mistaken. Although Starling might give him a run for his money. And took those big strides, and he's able to make a key tag out.
Yeah, Guy pointed out he was gritting his teeth. He said, I'm going for this.
At some point, you have to make a decision.
Yeah, you got to sell out for it. 2-2 is the count. Estrada, that one comes in, catches the zone.
Well,
so we thought.
Swapping bats.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And Estrada is a victim of a McDonald's strikeout. Good punch out there for Blaylock. And remember, other than giving up that 1 run last inning, the AL has gotten out of a couple dicey situations here, thanks to some quality defense, as Garcia offers a thought at that first pitch, but maybe not.
One of the biggest
Looks like
things
it from our camera angle there.
One of the biggest things that we mentioned. Yep, they are going to threshold since they're at 34, and so that means that he will be able to pitch again Thursday. One of the biggest things we talked about yesterday was with runners in scoring position, one of the biggest utilities you can have is the ability to strike guys out. Because then you take it out of your defense's hands. You can't commit an error if you, well, technically you can because, you know, drop third strike, but you know what I mean. It's a lot easier if you can strike guys out with the runners on base.
I was just going to let you keep talking. You were,
I was going to correct myself. Yeah. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. But you're right. We've seen some impressive strikeout abilities from our pitchers, regardless of which team. Does get behind. Runners tight. Benton at third. Edwards at second. Roberto Garcia at the plate. Rhett Dooley, Dawson Oakley behind them in the lineup here. 2-1. Final at bat for Blaylock. On the mound, we will have a PES Energize pitching change coming up in just a moment.
Well, talking about Garcia a minute ago, I still thought he had pretty good stuff today. The American League just hit him.
This is a bouncer out to second. They'll take the sure out. A run will come across. Ryan Benton scores the second run of the night for the National League. And Edwards will scoot on over to third.
Well, with a 6-run lead, though, you will trade an out for a run anytime with this few outs left. And so, yeah, they do get back within 5 after that run scored, but you importantly get the second out. They now only have 4 to work with here in the next inning and a third.
And so that does lead to the pitching change. And it looks like Richardson might get the call there. Or Underwood, excuse me. Underwood will be tabbed on the mound when we come back. But again, all pitching changes this week are brought to you by Pulaski Electric System and PES Energize. Mark and I return after this. 2 outs in the 5th in a 7-2 ball game here on PCL. We're back after this from Exchange Park.
Haney Financial Solutions is a New York Life company. We're for the people who put their love into action. Backed by over 175 years of experience, New York Life companies like Haney Financial Solutions have been helping people just like you protect what matters most. So go ahead and make a difference in the world. Visit NewYorkLife.com or call us today at 931-363-6490. Haney Financial Solutions. We're here to help.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
It's going to be Braden Underwood on the mound after a PES Energize pitching change. Action rolling along. We got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The visiting American League leading this contest 7-2. It was a shutout until the bottom of the 4th. This one put in play quickly by Dooley. Picked up and safe. Good effort just speeding down the bag. And Dooley beats it out, and that's a big run that comes across there.
Yeah, on that play, great field, but at the end of the day, you need to get that ball out more quickly. Whenever he threw it, I kind of felt like I was like, ooh, this is going to be a bang-bang play. As, you know, like I said, he fielded it cleanly, made a clean throw, no error on the play clearly, just to the fact that you have to have that exchange a little bit quicker. You have to get it out of your hand a little bit quicker. And those milliseconds can be the difference between getting out of the inning and continuing to give the National League a chance here.
Especially after watching the skills comp last night and listening to all the times and how close everything was, kind of really put it into a new light for us. And so potentially a new ball game here. It's 7-3. We're still in the bottom of the 5th, but things could really get interesting here if the last hitter in the lineup, Dawson Oakley, can somehow get aboard. But he cannot. That pitch up in the zone, he chases it, and Underwood gets a big strikeout. Brought to you by McDonald's. And that takes us to the 6th. And at the end of 5 innings, at the end of every inning, as a matter of fact, it's time for an inning break. Brought to you by our friends at First Realty Group. Mark and I return after this. You're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
If you have money in your savings account that you won't need access to for the next 6 months to a year, consider moving it to a CD. This is a great way to earn higher interest rate than you would with a checking or a savings account, and you can choose the terms that best fit your needs. Give us a call or check out our website to see our latest CD special. The Bank of Frank Ewing, serving you since 1921. Call us at 931-4.
My name is Hagen Haney. I'm 12 years old and I play baseball at Giles County Little League. I play the position of catcher. I love when runners try and steal on me. It usually doesn't go well for them. Here at Haney Realty and Property Management, we are proud to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County All-Star Tournament. Our agents love listing and selling houses, and they are here to help you find the home of your dreams. You can find us at 109 South 1st Street and give us a call at 931-347-9150. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friends in real estate.
Heading to the 6th inning, into the 5th break, brought to you by our friends at First Realty Group. Alongside Mark Mize, Wade Neely saying hello. Our producer tonight, Scott Stewart. Production magic, Scott Stewart. We've reached the 6th. Mark, you have some clarification for us on the pitching situation as we see the sun setting off behind the skyline here.
Yeah, so basically it's not like high school. The rules are that if you pitch in game 1, they will not be pitching in game 2 here tonight. And so once again, their pitch counts have been set up so that most of these guys are going to be able to pitch Thursday because you do have the extra day with no games tomorrow before you'll have game, of course, 4 and 5 in this series on Thursday. But that's important now because any guys you were using in game 1 are not available for game 2 here tonight. Also have an update trying to get the game-winning hit. Oh, yeah, in fact, here it is. So walking it off for the American League in the machine pitch, excuse me, All-Star Classic over there. Cam Major has the game-winning walk-off hit to the American League, wins it 11-10 over the National League. So game 1 over there is now finished.
Papa Ches Major will be tickled pink, as they say, as young Cam gets the walk-off hit. 1-2 count here. Dooley's back out on the mound. Swanner is at the plate here for the AL, but he is the victim of a McDonald's strikeout. Mark will have the top of the sixth and the bottom of the sixth to think about it, but we still have our defensive player and player of the game awards to hand out, brought to you by Pulaski Natural Gas and McDonald's.
I think I have the defensive player of the game pretty locked down as if the American League goes on to win it. Player of the game, I probably will have to defer to you and letting you look at the stats because I'm not sure yet. Do you have any initial ideas?
I got to lean. You know, the play-by-play guy is not supposed to get involved in these. I try and be apolitical, but we do have our statistician.
Point at the defensive player real quick, and let me see if you agree with me.
We will discuss such matters here
because I don't want to say it out loud just yet to tip my hand, but I'm curious to see who you.
And there still is a little game here. Who knows what could happen? As it's 7-3. Mark, that was a big moment in the game just a moment ago because if Davis at the top of the lineup had gotten a crack at it, he could have easily drove in a couple of runs himself with a homer. We'll be talking about a 1 or 2 run game going into the bottom of the sixth. As it stands, though, a 4-run contest at 7-3. Two-two count here. Swanner just struck out. Everett Chapman on the day. Lined out in the third, but he had a big double in the fourth inning. Drove in 2 runs. Hard hit ball out to short. And my goodness, Edwards just fires that one across the diamond. I know it's a smaller field, but that was a high school caliber play right there for the second out of the inning on the 6-3 putout. So Ryder will be at the plate. The National League will have the top of the lineup due up, but they'll trail by 4.
So Wade seems to agree with my initial suggestion for defensive player of the game.
Hey, I didn't say that.
You nodded. You didn't say anything, but you nodded.
Unless something changes, I think that one probably is. You're right. Spoken for. And all I'm going to say about that is I mentioned we also have our official statistician up here. In this particular case, we might have to recuse him from a vote because he might be inclined to agree with who we have initially thought about as our defensive player of the game.
Like I said, offensive, though, we'll have to talk about that in the commercial break because, well, not technically offensive, total all around player of the game because there's a lot of coaches.
That is really a defensive player. The second time in this series that Ryder at the bottom of the lineup has absolutely walloped one. And he is held at first. That's also about the 5th time tonight, Mark, that everybody is hitting the ball so hard and the field is a little bit smaller here that some of these would-be doubles, you've had to hold the runner at first. So back to the top of the lineup here.
Well, part of that, too, is you have an extra outfielder, so I think people are getting to the ball a little bit quicker than they would if we only had 3 standard.
And a great play there. Speaking of defensive performances, Edwards made 2 really good plays there. And that is how the top half of inning number 6 comes to a close. Once again, it'll be the top of the lineup due up. The National League will need 4 runs to try and extend this contest. It'll be 7-3 when we come back in the bottom of the 6th. Mark and I return. You're watching GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management. We're back right after this.
Haney Realty and Property Management, can I help you?
At Haney Realty and Property Management, we strive to help our clients with listing and buying of homes. Whether it's land, homes, or commercial, we are happy to assist you. We are licensed in Tennessee and Alabama. We are excited to be, we're excited to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County Youth Baseball this year for the All-Star Tournament. Give us a call at 931-347-9150. You can visit our website at www.haneyrealtypm.com, or you can come by and see us at 109 South 1st Street, right off the square in Pulaski. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friend in real estate.
Whether you
Welcome back.
Whether you need to finance home improvement.
Presented by Haney Realty and Property Management. Also, shout out to our friends at the Bank of Frank Ewing. Production magic, courtesy of Scott Stewart. Wayne Neely saying hello alongside Mark Mize. Mark, it is now or never for the National League, who won the skills competition yesterday. You made a funny point earlier that, some managers, some players may want to be the designated visiting team. It would have been kind of funny. It was phrased that you won home field advantage. What if they just said, you know what, we want to be the visitors?
Huh.
Like deferring the kickoff, we want to have the right to be there. So, top of the lineup due up here. The sun feels like it's been setting for an eternity over there. Scott's got a great angle for us. As Davis lifts one up, this is trouble. What a snag. Coming off the mound with a vengeance was Underwood. And we've seen a couple of balls where there's been some indecision. No indecision there. Underwood really just sold out for that one. He makes the grab. That is a big first out as Davis, the leadoff hitter, is retired. The American League is now 2 outs away from taking a 2-0 lead.
Well, running toward it when it's coming towards you is an easier play than running after it as the catcher there in that situation. So I think that's the right call to let the pitcher try to make that play. Both of them probably had a chance. Oh, this one is gone.
Stout takes one deep. A couple of folks were looking around, wondering if it had the distance. I think Stout kind of knew it.
Well, the left fielder knew it, and that was how we could tell. Is like I said, always look at the body language, and your outfielder will usually tell you how hard that one was hitting. He was looking straight up.
First home run of the All-Star Classic, courtesy of Kason Stout, who put on a show in the Home Run Derby yesterday. And all of our home runs this week are brought to you by our friends at McDonald's. And Stout has made it a 3-run game. That's the good news. The bad news, only 2 outs to work with here. As we'll try and navigate this bottom of the 6th. 7-4 is your new score. Ty Edwards, who had a really good top half of this inning, 2 great plays defensively, out at shortstop. Underwood trying to loft one up there and kind of entice Edwards to hit it, I think. He offered but fouled it away. 2-1.
How about that gap in right center?
Yeah, monster gap out there. This is hit toward right center, but standing in the way is Blaylock, who fires on in plenty of time for the out. So Edwards, who made great plays defensively a moment ago, sees the favor returned. And the National League is down to its final out. This is the bottom of the 6th, 7-4. The AL is an out away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 series. Comebacker nearly grabbed on the mound, but it gets through. And Blaylock fires at home. Maddox Wells grounds out to end the ball game. And that is how game number 2 comes to a close, Mark, as the National League cannot get a rally. They had a mini rally thanks to the home run from Stout, but that's all they could produce. And the AL, in a game that was really a low-scoring affair for the first couple of innings, puts on the pressure, scoring 4 times in the 4th and then adding a couple more in the 5th, and they win it tonight 7-4, and they take, again, that 2-0 lead here in this series.
Yeah, and that suddenly makes tonight's Game 3 technically Game 2 of the doubleheader, Game 3 overall, basically, in my opinion, a must-win for the National League. Because, I mean, you look at, in professional sports, how few times teams come back from down 3-0 in any sport. It's very, very difficult. And so, obviously, with, you're getting some of your pitchers back later in the week, I think that you're going to go ahead and do whatever you have to do tonight to make sure that you don't lose Game 3 and get back to 2-1, get some pitchers back on Thursday, and see where you can go from there.
Teams are going to swap dugouts, and they will swap on the scoreboard as well. So the National League falls both games as the designated home team. 8-6 last night, 7-4 here tonight. Mark, time to hand out some hardware, and we'll close out our broadcast. Again, we will be back for game number 3 in just a matter of moments. But your Pulaski Natural Gas Defensive Player of the Game, we discussed on air and off air. And one young man really stood out in particular, and he set the tone early when the game was hanging in the balance. How about the effort behind the plate for one of the top defensive players? My vote, at least, would go to Hagan Haney of the American League, who wins it tonight.
Absolutely. I think this is really, not even up for debate. He threw a runner out at second. He was involved in a couple really, really important rundowns. Obviously, when you're behind the plate, every single play you're playing defense, even on just a standard pitch in which it's not put in play, because you're blocking it up. You're kind of the captain of the defense. You're controlling the pitching game. And so, potentially the most important defensive player on any team is your catcher. And I think Hagan Haney did a great job tonight, and that's why I believe that I would give him my vote.
Haney gets my vote as well, so congrats to Hagan Haney, your defensive player of the game, brought to you by Pulaski Natural Gas. Your thoughts on player of the game, which is brought to you by McDonald's.
I'll be honest, you mentioned about 3, and they all 3 are pretty deserving. What are your thoughts, Wade? I kind of picked Haney for the defensive player of the game, so I'm going to let you pick the overall player of the game.
I'm going to go with Everett Chapman, only in the sense, he finished 1 for 3. But his 1 ends up being the biggest hit of the game because it gave the American League the offensive shot that it needed and ultimately ended up being pivotal as they win the game by a lot closer margin. He had a huge 2-run double with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. And at the very next to last position in the lineup, I think Chapman's effort was big. He would get my vote potentially for player of the game tonight. And I think it's a nice tip of the cap to give someone at the bottom of the lineup some props because he really stepped up in a big way when they needed him to.
No, totally agree with that selection. Like I said, there are 2 or 3 we could have picked, but that 2 RBI base hit was absolutely crucial. And, the American League now has really, really put the pressure on the National League. And as we mentioned, Game 2 tonight, Game 2 of the doubleheader. I'm sorry. As I say, that's always tripping me up because it's Game 3 overall. Yeah. Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader now, suddenly, what's it going to look like pitching-wise? I think it's probably your most interesting game of the series because you have an off day tomorrow, and so there's a lot that you can do with it. You can burn a couple guys more than you normally would, or you could do like the American League did last night and say, hey, to a starter, this is your only game you're going to pitch all series long. Do with what you can. Let's ride this as long as we can and see if we can save some of our other arms by having one guy really carry the burden for us.
Yeah, come back with us in just a moment, folks, because this is going to be a fun nightcap as the AL wins the game tonight 7-4 and takes a 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 series. Mark and I will close it out. Thanks to Scott Stewart. Thanks to Guy Schaefer. And again, Mark Mize and Chandler Harmon. Wade Neely saying so long. We'll see you next time. If you're looking, we will be swapping to a new YouTube broadcast, so stand by for that link here in just a matter of moments as we get ready for game number 3. The AL holds a 2-0 advantage. This is GCLL All-Star Week coverage presented by Haney Realty and Property Management.
My name is Hagan Haney. I'm 12 years old and I play baseball at Giles County Little League. I play the position of catcher. I love when runners try and steal on me. It usually doesn't go well for them. Here at Haney Realty and Property Management, We are proud to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County All-Star Tournament. Our agents love listing and selling houses, and they are here to help you find the home of your dreams. You can find us at 109 South 1st Street and give us a call at 931-347-9150. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friends in real estate.